Hi, it's so good to see everybody. We are going to do some artwork that's inspired by Salvador Dali. Salvador Dali is a man with an iconic skinny mustache. He is from Spain, so he's a Spanish artist, but he's also a surreal artist. A surreal painter, someone who does surreal art, often is very realistic, like a photograph. But there's an element of strange, okay? It's like being in a dream where everything looks real, but something's off about it. So for example, we are going to do Salvador Dali's elephant. And if you look at the elephant, it looks like a normal elephant until you get to the what? The legs. So we are going to draw our very tall elephants of our own. We are going to draw a melted clock, because Salvador Dali is known for his melted clocks. So I'm going to go ahead and we are going to get started. We are going to start off with our watercolor pencils, okay? So I want you to find a dark blue. It doesn't matter which dark blue, it just is going to be dark, not light. So you're going to hold up that dark blue. You're going to wave it like you just don't care, and we're going to get started. So we have our sheet of watercolor paper. We are using watercolor paper because this is a watercolor pencil. And the cool thing about watercolor pencils are that when we add water, it's going to do something pretty magical. It's going to turn into paint. Let's flip our paper over. It should be on the textured side, so the bumpy side, and we're going to put our name. So go ahead and put your name. Once you're done putting your name, we are all set to go. We're not going to do much of a warm-up. We're just going to go straight into our elephant. So go ahead, flip your paper over. We are going to start with our elephant that is about 4 fingers down, okay? So you're going to find the center, get your 4 fingers, and you're going to put a dot right there. Once you have that dot, you're going to do another 4 fingers, and you're going to come down and put a dot here. 4 fingers down, 4 fingers down. You're going to make an oval shape. This is the body of the elephant, so it should be pretty large. I'm going to have you watch me first. So you're watching me first. We're going to do a very loosey-goosey oval. I'm not pressing down very hard, and I'm going over it a few times. Did I just draw one oval? No, I drew a few different ovals, and I'm just getting the shape of the elephant correct. So go ahead, it is your turn. Once you have that loosey-goosey oval that you go over a few times, not just once, but a few times, we are going to find the side that has the most room. So often, there's one side where you have a little less room. So you're going to find the side with the most room, and you're going to do a head that is about 3 fingers in size. And it's going to overlap. So it's not floating above, it's starting inside, and it's going to look something like this. See how it's overlapping? It's not floating above, it's not right on top, it's starting inside. It's starting inside our oval. We have the body and the head. It is an elephant, so it's going to be pretty large. Make sure you're doing nice, large shapes. We're going to start at the top of the circle, and I'm going to have you just watch me. So you're just going to watch, and then I'll give you the A-OK, and then it will be your turn. We're going to draw the ear. We're going to go up and over. Make sure it's not inside, but over our circle. Then you're going to do a nice wiggly line and back down. So this is our elephant's ear. Go over that twice. So it's only one ear because we are doing a profile. Go up, down, wiggly line, and back around. So you should notice at the top and at the bottom where you end. So it is your turn, so go ahead and draw that ear. Go over it twice, outline it twice. So it's a nice, bold, thick line. The next thing we're going to do is a tapered line. Our trunk is a tapered line. That's when two lines get closer and closer to each other and kind of make a point, or they slowly become one line. So I'm going to have you watch me first. I'm going to come down from the ear, down the forehead, back up, and back down, kind of like a roller coaster. And we're going to make this a tapered line. So I'm going to do one finger length away, because it has to have two lines. A tapered line has to have one and two lines. It's going to start off, remember, we're just watching. It's going to start off far away, but then it's progressively going to get closer and closer until our two lines become one line. See how thick it is here, and then it ends up being super skinny up there? Alright, looking good. Go ahead, it is your turn. Make sure that you do your trunk. It should be one finger. And that is called a tapered line because it starts far away and it ends up very close to each other. We're going to do the same thing but for the legs. Our legs are going to be super skinny and super wiggly. So watching me first, you're going to come right underneath the ear, right at the edge of the body. You're going to do a wiggly line just like that. So go ahead, it's your turn. Add that wiggly line. You're going to take one finger and you're going to make a tapered line. So our next line is going to start right here. It's going to start right there, one finger away, because it needs tapered lines, needs two lines. And then you're going to slowly start far away, but then progressively get closer and closer. So it starts far away, but then it gets closer. It's a tapered line. Starts off thick, ends off being one line, just like the trunk. So that's our first leg. Go ahead and make your first leg. Then we're going to move all the way to the caboose. And the caboose is the same thing. We're going to draw a wiggly line. We're going to do one finger away. We are going to go ahead and slowly taper that line just like so. So now we have two legs. We need two more legs. So go ahead and we need to start our other leg. And it's going to be a nice wiggly line as well. One finger apart. And then this one. Go ahead and add your two other legs. It's going to kind of look like a jellyfish. I'm going to have you color in your back and front legs, so our front and back legs, these two legs, not the ones in the center, and we're going to color those in blue. You don't have to press down very hard, you're just gently coloring in those legs with the dark blue. Our next color, so once you're done with the blue, we're going to go, oh, you can also add a little tail. Oh, I am still here. Okay. We're also going to add a little bit of a tail. Go ahead and add a tail. I'm going to let you know, be different, be unique, be strange, be unusual, okay? There's no idea that's too weird for Salvador Dali. So I'm going to encourage you to be different and expressive, okay? So maybe your tail doesn't look like this. Maybe your tail has little loops, or it's super long. Remember, it's not a realistic elephant. It looks real, but there are elements of strange. Okay, So we're going to go ahead and put our blue away. We're going to grab our purple. So find a purple. There are 2 shades of purple. There's no wrong purple. You're just picking a purple. You're going to do the stomach for a shadow. You're going to do a lawnmower. What I mean by lawnmower is I'm going up and down, up and down, up and down, like a lawnmower for the bottom of the stomach and for these 2 legs. So the 2 other legs we're going to color in purple. Alright, this is what our elephant is looking like right now. I'm going to let everyone catch up. We've done this. It's about 1 finger in length. We're just going back and forth, back and forth. We're going to do this at the bottom of the trunk. We're going to add a little purple line all the way to the tip. Inside at the bottom of the trunk. Inside at the bottom of our trunk. This is for shadow. And then we're done with the purple, and we're going to put the purple back in the box. Our next color is a light blue. Find a light blue. And we have to color in the rest of the elephant with the light blue. So any part of the elephant that is the white of the page is now going to be colored in with the light blue. So I'm going to come in, add some light blue to the body. I'm going to come in here, add a light blue to the ear and the face, because they are now one shape. We're going to come to the trunk and color in the white of the trunk. Any part of the elephant that has the white of the watercolor page is now going to be blue. We're going to go ahead and get our Sharpie ready. So go ahead and get your ultra fine Sharpie ready. That is the Sharpie with the really fine points. We're not going to press down very hard because that's how you damage these Sharpies. If you press down really hard, you might bend the tip. And we're going to trace together. So we're going to start in the same place and we're going to trace together. So I'm going to have everyone get your Sharpie. Make sure that the cap is on the back. And we are going to start at the top of the ear. We're going to start at the top of the ear. And we're going to go all the way up and down. And we're going to stop at the bottom of the ear. So we're going to go ahead and stop here, right there. This is where we're stopping. We're going to make some decisions. We have to decide, does our elephant have tusks or not? Tusks are giant teeth, overgrown teeth that are made out of ivory. Elephants use them to protect themselves, pick up things. They're very useful. And it's going to be a tapered line. So I'm going to show you first. So your hands are still. You're just using your eyes. I'm going to show you how to do a tusk. It starts off like a letter J or L. Like a letter J or L. Let me zoom in. And it's going to taper to a point. So then I start here, far away. But then it's progressively going to get closer and closer until it becomes a point. So go ahead and add a tusk if you want. If you don't want a tusk, then you're just going to continue that line right by the ear. You're going to continue that line and just outline the trunk. You don't have to add a tusk, but if you would like a tusk, go ahead and add one. And once you're done with the tusk, you're just going to outline the rest of your trunk. And then we're going to stop at that starting point all the way at the ear right here. So we're going to stop right where we started. We're going to focus on the face for a little bit. We're going to add something called a headdress. We're going to add some eyes. A headdress is this decorative kind of hat that people in India put on their elephants. There are two types of elephants. There's elephants from India. They're a little smaller, and they're kind of a red color. And then there's African elephants, which are the giant, big, gray ones. And often in India, they'll add a little bit of a headdress. So we're going to do a short little line. It's about 1 or 2 fingers in length, starting right at that starting point, that same place we started. You're going to come across and kind of make like a pizza slice. Kind of looks like a pizza slice. Then you get to decorate it any way you want. So you could do polka dots, stripes. We could add some tassels. So add some tassels if you want. And then maybe you can add polka dots, stripes, stars, hearts, any kind of like Zentangle you want. So I'm going to give everyone a little bit of time to go ahead, add their pattern. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to start with the eye. You can draw your eye any way you like. You can add eyelashes, a monocle. The options are endless. It's your elephant, so you get to decide what kind of eye you're going to draw. Alright, we're going to go ahead and start outlining the rest of the elephant. So what a common mistake is that people outline the body, the oval, they outline the whole oval. We are not doing that. We are going to trace in a certain way, so stick with me, don't jump ahead. We're going to trace the back and the tail. Once you trace the back and the tail, just go ahead and stop. I'm going to stop right there. And then we're going to add a saddle. So the saddle, I like to think of a letter L that is laying down on its back. So I'm going to start that line, and it's going to come up like this. Like an L that is falling asleep, like a capital L. Do you see that? Or a rectangle. Go ahead, add that. You get to decorate this as well. So you can decorate this just like your headdress if you want, or it could be a little bit different. Alright. You could do checkers, you could do any kind of pattern you want. It doesn't have to be the same pattern I'm doing. Alright. We're going to go ahead and now outline the legs. I want you to pay special attention. We are going to start with a line here separating these legs. We're separating the legs. Make sure you make this very defined. Make it very defined. Then you're going to come and you're just going to outline the legs. Make sure that you don't outline the body just willy-nilly, okay? Think about where the legs are starting and ending, because our elephant is now one shape. The legs are attached to the body, so you're not just going to outline the oval. thing is that every elephant's going to be a little unique, a little different. So yours isn't going to look exactly like mine. And that's why it's fun and exciting. Make sure you have everything outlined. Often students accidentally forget to outline maybe the face or the ears. Make sure that your entire elephant is outlined in Sharpie. We're going to come to the back and we're going to do a 3D box. Because often there is a monolith or a building or a person on top of the elephant. So we're going to go ahead and do that just like Salvador Dali. So you're going to help me. We're going to draw a square. What do we draw? A square. Then we're going to draw a line, a horizontal line pointing down. What direction? Down. And then one more line. And I'm going to do this a few times. So I draw a square, a line pointing down, one more line. And you need to just at least add one box. And once you add those boxes, you can decorate them. You can add tiny little stick figures, maybe a little Among Us character, maybe a vase with flowers. It's up to you. And I'm going to add a little stick figure. So there's one of my stick figures. Maybe up here I'll have something like a heart. So you can draw any type of symbol, but they have to be tiny, itsy bitsy, teeny weeny. Be weird, be creative. Don't overthink it. Alright, so I'm giving you a time to add some cool things to your boxes. Remember, a square, horizontal line, or a diagonal line, another line. Okay. We're going to move all the way to the bottom. For the bottom, we are using 2 fingers, and we're going to start our horizon line. It is in a desert landscape. And you're going to help me stop and skip. So I have to tell me when to stop. Stop, skip, stop, skip, stop, skip, stopping and skipping all the way. And now you're going to add mountains, but they're going to be tiny. You don't want to draw very big mountains, because that will ruin the illusion of the elephant being large. So draw tiny mountains, nothing too big. Maybe you want to draw the pyramids of Giza, maybe you want to draw something a little different, but go ahead, but just make sure they are tiny. Make sure they are tiny. I'm going to add a clock. We're going to add 2 little curved lines like this. So go ahead and add your mountains and your horizon line. Your horizon line is not very tall. It's about 2 fingers. Mountains are tiny. I've added 2 little lines at the top. We're going to bring a string down, just like this. And we're going to add a melted clock. So once you have the 2 lines, 2 curved lines, we're going to draw another line. And then we're going to draw a melted clock. And I like to start with a curve, like a rainbow. And then we're going to be doing little weird wiggly lines all the way down, just like this. Your clock doesn't have to be the exact same shape because they are melted clocks. So don't worry about making this the same as mine. We're going to outline them, give them a nice little frame. We're going to add hands that kind of look like Salvador Dali's mustache. Maybe put a few numbers. And then you can color that in if you want. Or you can wait until we use different colors and color it in. You don't have to color it in black. But I'm going to color mine in with the Sharpie. We are all finished with the Sharpie. We have mountains, a melted clock, some boxes on top of our elephant. And now we're going to go in with the colors. We're going to do a sunset. We're going to start off with yellow, then move on to an orange, and then we're going to end off with a red. So, I like to start with about 5 fingers, okay? So nice and big stripes of yellow, starting right at the mountains. Think of a big stripe of yellow, maybe above the clock. I like to color in between the legs. Don't forget, in between the legs of the elephant. And be a little, you don't have to be extremely, what's the word? You don't have to be adding a lot of color, because with the water it expands, so you don't have to be, you can be a little lazy. I guess that's the word. You don't have to color in every single inch. Something like that. Then I kind of like to start the orange inside the yellow, so it's okay to have that yellow and orange overlap a little. That's with the blending, so that's okay. Make sure you get in between everything. So add a little orange into the yellow. We want these colors to kind of blend in with each other. Do a nice big stripe of orange, nice big stripe. And then our last one is red, so go ahead and get that red. Let that red blend into the orange. Let the red start inside the orange, blending all the way in. You don't have to spend a lot of time on the sunset. Just make sure you add enough color that you can't really see the white of the page. Just like this. Put your colors back. Okay, now I'm going to give you some time to color in everything else. So you can color in the floor, the ground, the mountains, your accessories, like the headdress and saddle, the boxes. So go ahead, color in whatever color you want. It's up to you. Maybe you want your desert to have green grass or brown grass. It's up to you what colors you're going to use for your desert. Okay, and once you're done coloring everything, we are going to add water. And we're going to add water in a specific order, so we have to follow the order. The order goes sunset first, then the ground, then the elephant skin, and then the accessories. In fact, you don't have to add a lot of water to the accessories. So our next step is adding 15 drops of water just to the sunset. Adding 15 drops of water just to the sunset. You're going to have to add more water to the sunset, but 15 drops is a good start, okay? And you're always going to start with the yellow first. So you're going to start with the yellow, and you're just going to let the yellow... Try your hardest not to get any water inside the elephant's legs. So be mindful, take your time, So after you've gotten your yellow done, you're going to come and you're going to add paint to your orange. And you're going to start seeing that this is turning into paint. I'm dipping and adding water, creating this beautiful sunset. When you get back to your yellow, make sure that your brush is nice and clean, because you don't want to make your yellow super muddy. Take your time coloring in the sunset. Dip your brush in water if you need more water. Clean off your brush once you get to the yellow, so your yellow doesn't become super muddy. If your paper starts to curl, go ahead and put your finger down to help it. If you get paint inside the tusk and you don't want paint there, you can just always use your paper towel and dab it away. Alright, after you're done with your sunset, you're going to go ahead and move on to the ground. So you're going to move on to the mountains and your horizon line. Going to add a little bit of water to your mountains. You're going to come to the elephant, and I like to do little tiny circles, okay? Add a little bit of water, a little bit of circles, kind of blend that blue and purple together. You don't need a lot of water on the elephant, just enough to kind of get those colors moving. And that is your Salvador Dali elephant. If you're getting any like puddles where you don't like the color, you just kind of grab your paper towel and you dab it. And then you come back with your paint and you kind of soften it up. Just like that. And that is your Salvador Dali elephant. Pretty cool. I'm so glad that we got to do that together. I love watercolor pencils. They are some of my favorite mediums to use. You can combine this with your normal watercolor palette too to create some really cool stuff. I love that you can blend really well with these, just like we did with the sunset. So thank you so much, and we had an awesome time. I had so much fun, and thank you for participating and being with me. You probably did amazing elephants. If your teacher wants to send me some photos, feel free, and have a great rest of your week. Bye.